behalf of President Stephen Knapp, Senior Vice President Robert A. Chernak, Dean of Students Peter Konworski, Provost Stephen Lerman, Associate Vice President and Dean of Freshmen Helen Kennedy Salney, the entire George Washington University administration, faculty, and staff, and the Multicultural Student Services staff and student leaders and community, I'd like to welcome you to the 4th Annual Multicultural Student Services Graduation Celebration. My agenda for today will be brief, simple, and focused on 4 areas: diversity, leadership, the power of your words, and relationships. 5 years ago, when we talked about this program, there were a number of people from the university who questioned the value of a multicultural graduation celebration. They questioned the rationale behind using this significant and beautiful university resource for this kind of event. In the time that has passed since then, the tide has turned, and the very same people who once wondered why we would develop such a program at GW have learned to see the value in affirming each of you in this place at this time. There is a greater understanding of the importance of diversity on our campus, the value of programs like this one, the need for centers like the MSSC, and the power of young people like you. This is your day. I hope you find great joy in every second in it. President Knapp came to this campus several years ago with a handful of priorities, and diversity was one of them. In the time that has passed since his arrival, the GW experience is changing for the better. Everyone has to embrace the notion that the privilege each of us enjoys within our communities, our attitudes, and our values is limited by our fear of change and our amazing ability to focus on what we see as right from the confines of our safer and narrower perspectives. During these past 4 years, you should have met and engaged people from every race, color, creed, religion, nationality, ability level, gender, sexual orientation, and geographic location. GW should have allowed every student the broadest range of opportunities to engage different cultures, and whether you did or did not does not matter now. What matters most today is what you will do with those lessons tomorrow. Continue to take advantage of every opportunity to develop the cross-cultural competencies that are critical for new leaders in an increasingly complex and diverse world of work. When you do, you will strengthen your ability to understand, connect to, communicate, and maybe even inspire the broadest range of people around you. The ability to inspire others will give you the broadest range of influence and opportunity in the workplace. Your experiences with diversity at GW will define how you will lead others in the future. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said it so eloquently in his sermon, The Drum Major Instinct. Everyone can be great because everyone can serve. King is the image and personification of servant leadership. Everything that he gained in life, he gave to his people. His money, his time, blood, sweat, tears, and in the end, his life. I want all of you to remember Dr. King today. Your influence in life will be defined by the limits of your ability to serve others. In studying Dr. King, I realized how hard he tried to be a great parent. And though he had his challenges, he inspired me to be a better husband to my wife, and a better father to my son, and a better director to each of you all. I enrolled in a biblically based fatherhood training program, and the simple message was, live your eulogy today. The team leader said, imagine your spouse, your partner, or child reading your eulogy at your homegoing service. You think, well, what is a eulogy? The definition of formal speech or piece of writing praising a person or thing, especially a person who has recently died, for how they lived. The words read over you that day will define the life you have lived. What do you want your employees, your colleagues, bosses, spouse, partner, friend, or child to say about you? I know that I want my son to say these things. My dad was fun. My dad encouraged me. My dad was a joy to be around. My dad gave me structure and consequences that moved me closer to the right behaviors and closer to him. My dad sacrificed things for me. My dad hung in with me when times were bad and I was messing up. My dad always showed up to watch me do my thing. My dad would do the goofiest things in front of my friends just to make me laugh. My dad celebrated my victories and my defeats. I could tell my dad anything because he listened to me without judging me and my dad loved me without limits and without conditions. That day, I hope my son will say, I miss you, Dad. So I want you to think about the importance of living your life in a manner each day that would elicit that response from the people who care about you. How will you choose to live your life? Just remember, what really matters in life is what we do in service and support to others. You're all leaders. Service, character, integrity, confidence, knowing your stuff, accountability, self-control, empathy, intuition. These are the standards of great leaders. You're asked to do more than you're paid to do, so make it a habit. One of the joys and the penalties of leadership is that we must work a little harder than everyone else. Always assume full responsibility when things go wrong, and if your people fail, the external perception must be that I have failed. When your people succeed, then the people should get the credit. Those successes will reflect on you anyway. You have to remember that leaders are effective communicators that speak well and write well for the environment that they are in. Remember the value of colloquial speech and cultural vernacular. Develop the capacity to quote Langston Hughes, Naeem Akbar, Junot Diaz, Gandhi, and James Brown in the same paragraph. Remember, 93% of the American public says that public speaking is their greatest fear. Make sure you're part of the great 7%. The most important tool for a young leader is to learn to listen. How else will you hear the cries of the people you lead? So graduates, we're going to have fun for a quick second. I'm going to ask you to pair up. Right as you sit, just pair up with somebody. One will be A, the other will be B. Can you do that for me very quickly? Just look down the row, odd, even, A, B. Are you set? Are you ready? All right, everybody set? A's, raise your hand. B's, raise your hand. A, turn to B. Look intently in their eyes and say these words. You ready? Look intently in their eyes and say, what's cooking? Good looking. All right, everybody done? B, turn to A. Look intently in A's eyes and say these words. If you were any better looking, you'd be twins. This lesson is just to remind you the power of your words. Use them to lift and inspire. Use them wisely. Use them well. But know you have power. I want to close with a little dialogue about relationships. Your GW experience should have been the greatest 4-year point of development in your life. You should have learned more, grown more, and changed more than any 4-year period of your life. These friends around the room will be your friends for life. Please take a moment, look around at all these beautiful and handsome faces. Remember them, cherish them, and stay connected to them. When you leave this place today, and when the graduation celebration party ends tonight, your relationship will change forever. You may not see each other on the mall at commencement, or while packing the car, or while driving or flying home. Take this moment right now and just hug that person next to you like it means something to you. All right, you can stop now. Good Lord. At the end of today's program, seek that person you wanted to forgive and never did. Settle that petty difference with a handshake. Point to that administrator or faculty member and let them know how much you appreciate them. Remember your MSSC staff. Our tears start today, and they won't stop until you come back to visit. Tell that cutie or that hottie or that nerdy that you always thought was something special and wish them the very best in their future. Facebook gives way to reality as you get older. So today you're moving on to the next great developmental phase of your life. and you will not see these friends each day as you do now. After today, everything changes. So I'm going to ask you something. If I could put you in a program after graduation that would guarantee the following things, would you sign up? Here are the things. If I could guarantee that you have a 30% higher lifetime income, that I could guarantee that you have higher levels of physical and psychological health, that you'd be 1.4 times more likely to volunteer, 2 times more likely to be affluent, 2 times more likely to live in a safe neighborhood, 2 times more likely to send your children, if you have them, to college, a 50% lower mortality rate. If I could put you in a program of that nature, would you enroll? Raise your hand if you agree. Very good. That program is called marriage. Congratulations. Now, I'll close by saying this. God did not intend for anyone, to live their lives alone. Everyone has a right to find someone to love for a lifetime. Don't waste your time partying and clubbing and going to the spa. Find your true love. Partner up sooner rather than later. Love them faithfully, and all your dreams will come true. Congratulations, 2011.